You know, when you hear the word exoskeleton, your mind probably jumps straight to Iron Man, right? But for just a minute, let's forget Hollywood. The real story of these wearable robots, well, it's unfolding in places like hospitals and factories and even concert halls. And it's a story that's way more personal and honestly, way more profound.
Because this isn't science fiction anymore.
No, this technology is all about solving a massive and very, very human problem, one that affects billions of people all across the globe right now. And that number, it's just staggering. As of 2019, we're talking about 2.41 billion people, that's billion with a B, who live with conditions that could benefit from rehabilitation. And get this, that number has jumped by over 60% since 1990. So this is the huge challenge that engineers and doctors are trying to tackle with this incredible technology. So let's start our journey in the world of medicine, where these devices are really transforming from something you'd see in a movie into true healing machines.
So what is an exoskeleton, really? Well, at its core, it's a wearable robot. It's this mechatronic structure that works right alongside your own body to either boost what's already there, help you go for longer, or, and this is so crucial, to restore mobility that's been lost because of an injury or an illness.
Okay, that makes sense, but it brings up a huge question, right? How does this thing actually know what you want to do? I mean, how does it move with you instead of against you?
While the secret sauce is artificial intelligence, the AI is the brain power, and it smartly breaks this huge task down into 3 key steps. First up, you've got intention detection, which basically just senses that you want to move. Then locomotion classification kicks in to figure out what kind of movement you're trying to do. Are you walking, or are you trying to climb stairs? And finally, robot control takes over and coordinates all the machine's joints to move perfectly in sync with your body.
Researcher Nicola Vitiello put it perfectly. He said the robot actually synchronizes with you. He compared it to a pacemaker for your limbs, and that's such a great analogy. It provides this gentle, really effective assistance that basically injects energy right back into your walk.
But of course, the technology isn't standing still. The next big thing is soft robotics. You have projects like Exosoft that are moving away from those big, rigid frames. They're developing these lighter, way more comfortable devices that are made of smart materials. And that could totally change the game for how wearable and just normal they feel for daily use.
Okay, so we've seen how they work as healers. But now, let's switch gears completely. In a totally different world, the factory floor, the exoskeleton goes from being a healer to being the ultimate coworker. And the problem they're trying to solve in industry, it's huge. Just think about this. In Europe alone, more than a quarter of all workers have to deal with work-related back injuries. That is a massive cost, not just for companies and lost time, but for people in their actual quality of life.
And that's where projects like RoboMate come into the picture. They're building these industrial exoskeletons with a really simple goal: help workers with all that manual lifting offload the strain on their lower back and slash the risk of injury. It's a true human-robot team-up.
So you've got this fascinating split, right? It's the same core technology, but it's being used for 2 totally different goals. In the medical world, the goal is restoration. It's about getting back something that was lost. But in industry, the goal shifts to prevention. It's about boosting a healthy worker to stop injuries from ever even happening.
All right, we've talked restoration, we've talked augmentation, but what if this tech could do something way more radical? What if it could actually enhance our creativity and even our senses?
I mean, this is where it gets really wild. Forget just helping you move. What if a robot could give you a whole new sense?
Check this out. This was the ConBots project. What researchers did was they developed these 2 wearable exoskeletons for the upper arms, and they used them to virtually physically link 2 violinists together. The robots would feel the movements of one musician and then translate them into physical force on the other one, so they could literally feel what their partner was doing, in real time. This kind of communication, it's called haptic feedback, and it's totally different from just seeing or hearing something. It doesn't need your conscious attention. The researchers said the feeling is bodily and immediate. It let the musicians adapt to each other almost like a reflex.
And here's the kicker, the part that's just amazing. This new, robotic sense of touch actually improved their coordination more than the visual cues they have trained their entire careers to rely on. Feeling each other was more effective than seeing each other.
And it doesn't stop there. This can actually push human skill beyond its limits. See, expert musicians, like a concert pianist, they often hit this ceiling effect where they physically cannot get any faster. So researchers used a hand exoskeleton to just passively move their fingers at a speed that was literally faster than humanly possible. And the result? It was incredible. After that robotic training, the pianist could voluntarily play faster than their previous personal best. The robot basically gave their brain a blueprint for a new level of skill it had never even known was possible.
So where is all of this heading? What does it all mean? Well, it points to a new kind of future, a truly symbiotic one between humans and robots. And when we say symbiosis, we're not talking about your relationship with your smartphone, where you're just exchanging information. No, this is on a whole other level. Human exoskeleton symbiosis is about exchanging mechanical power. The robot and the human become one single integrated system.
So you see, we have to start thinking of these things as way more than just tools. In rehabilitation, they are healers. In the factory, they become preventative partners. And now, in new fields like performance art, they're becoming collaborators, amplifying artists and dancers into what some people are calling superhuman figures.
And that really brings us to the biggest question of all. For all of human history, our potential has been defined by the limits of our own biology. But if machines can help us heal, make us stronger, and even give us new ways to feel and learn, then what are the limits of human potential now?